Washington parent accidentally packs cordless hole puncher in kid's lunchbox. Yeah, right next to the Brondo. Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Akorn. I hope all of you are having a great weekend and that you are ready for today's show of Laugh While the World Burns, where we highlight some of the idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you enjoy this series, please help support the channel and enjoy today's show to the end. And share this video with your family, friends, and social media. We have a lot of good memes and some idiocracy news today, so let's get into it. Mom given $10,800 in taxpayer funds for poor families, spent most of it on a luxury Miami trip. I wanted to blow it. And what exactly did she expect to happen after the fact? She didn't think anybody would notice? In North Korea, people are forced to listen to propaganda. In the USA, people do it willingly. Not just willingly, they'll even pay for it. Dude, we get it. You're a liberal. I'd say a lot of you guys know the YouTube channel Conservative Twins, and I came across this clip today that I just had to share with you guys. They're showing a video clip here of this black pastor who is running for mayor. You guys will just have to listen to it for yourself.
Somebody said to me that if Jesus is black, heaven is a ghetto. Everywhere black people live is a damn ghetto. Why should I be yelling at the white man? Hell, if it wasn't for him, we'd all probably be dead from diseases and sickness. Or hell, we each other. It wasn't for the white man. Yeah, white man built America. You say the slave built America. Don't they cover that lie? I'll slap the taste out of your mouth. They ain't built nothing. Half the time what you did build as a slave, the white man had to whoop your ass with a whoop to get you to do that little bit of work that you didn't do. Had to whoop your ass to get it done. Talking about we built America. You ain't built a damn thing.
Oh my God.
None of it. You had Harlem, you threw that away. No, thank God for the white man. Thank God. He built America and some other safe places. Built airlines so you can ride around on. Built automobiles. Hell, y'all ain't got one nation in Africa have built a car.
Oh my
damn
God.
talk. All thing y'all can do is play basketball, run up and down the court like a bunch of double jointed fools.
Sydney Sweeney is selling 5,000 bars of soap that contain drops of her own bathwater in collaboration with Dr. Squatch. How are they not being sued for something? Only in these days. Chances of me ever believing that politicians love America? None. Also none, but in yellow. Yep, 1,000%. An unlawful foreign trespasser expecting due process for deportation is like someone expecting a refund from Walmart on an item they have stolen. Well, actually, there's a lot of people that try to do that, and I'm assuming a good number of them must got away with it. 51% of conservatives have excellent mental health versus only 20% of liberals. Who else didn't need a poll to know this? Dave slams blue states' proposed Taylor Swift tax, targeting luxury homeowners. Rhode Island's potential tax law could cost Swift an extra $136,000 annually. It's not like that they would miss the money. However, with that said, I don't want any new taxes. I don't care who has to pay it. Lampopo beneficiaries eat 30 cows awarded to them to start farming project. By the way those cows look, they sure didn't get much meat off of them. They look like they're about skin and bones. What was meant to be a groundbreaking agricultural empowerment project has ended in smoke and bewilderment. A group of Lampopo beneficiaries recently awarded 30 head of cattle to kickstart a community farming venture decided to interpret meat production a little too literally by hosting the Providence's largest ever community barbecue. Actually, no. No, I don't, especially if you live in the UK, or Europe, or Australia, maybe Canada, and soon coming to the US. White men are walking around on eggshells at work, afraid to speak freely. Poll reveals 43% of white men self-censor at work, while 25 million report losing job opportunities due to their race and gender. Well, it's like where there's been multiple lawsuits, usually white men who have sued companies who point-blank stated that they wouldn't hire them because they were white. But yet, they lost the lawsuit in the courts because the court said that was perfectly fine, because the companies needed to have more DEI hires. Liberal idols: Woman of the Year, Hero, Family Man, Astronaut. Judge finds police acted reasonably in shooting New Mexico man while at wrong address. Yeah, if I remember right, they showed up at this guy's house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, beating on his front door. He answers the door and has a cordless hole puncher in his hand, not directed toward them, mind you, but because he didn't know who in the world it was. Anyone can say, "Oh, we're the police." I don't mean anything. As soon as they seen it in his hand, they just unloaded on him. But that's acting reasonably. If you're in debt to a school that taught you this is a woman, you can pay your own loan. Drunk on air? Former intelligence officer pulled off live TV. Army Parade reporter Rebecca Koffler went viral after appearing to be heavily intoxicated on a segment of Fox and Friends.
Rebecca, what are your thoughts tonight on the incredible symbolism and the messaging that we saw here tonight from the Commander-in-Chief on the Army's 250th birthday?
I am so excited, Emily and Lucas Tomlinson. Everybody, this is incredible. Finally, the United States is back. I want to really thank all of our Army, Navy, and Air Force officers who have been sacrificing their lives, literally. Their families have been contributing to the mission. And I want to thank these officers for all of these sacrifices and all of the hardships that their families have been doing. Lawrence Jones, you're rocking, man. You guys are fair. Lucas,
thank you.
I want to thank.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, and thank you for your service too.
When it comes to domestic terrorism, nobody does it like a liberal. Carmelio Anthony, spokesman, urges fight against white supremacy after Anthony's murder indictment for Austin Metcalf stabbing. After Carmelio Anthony was indicted for first-degree unaliving in connection with the fatal stabbing in April of Texas high school star athlete Austin Metcalf, a high-profile Anthony spokesman reacted Monday by calling for a fight against white supremacy and blasting bigots and racists. Yeah, that's right, guys. Austin Metcalf? Yeah, he had white privilege. So much so that it got him unalived. The asinine stupidity of this generation. When you and your homies want to discuss climate change. Snack mask. Pack it up to go. Easily fits your favorites. 1 hot dog with a bun. Small bag of chips. Large sour pickle. A 6-inch sub. Half of a calzone. Mac and cheese. Ice cream cone. A 6-pack of chicken nuggets, and more. Made in the USA. Because nobody else would ever be stupid enough to make one. It really wouldn't surprise me that this wasn't a real thing. Donut truck burns. Police department to bring in grief counselors. Circuses struggling to find new clowns as top prospects continue to go into politics. Men in the past hunted mammoths before breakfast. Men today needs emotional support to order coffee. It'd almost be funny if it wasn't actually true. Accused assassin Vance Bolter blames Governor Tim Walz for murderous rampage. A letter found in Bolter's escape vehicle was addressed to FBI Director Kash Patel. In a letter to the FBI, suspected political assassin Vance Luther Bolter, of course they have to put his three names, right? Blamed Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz for the June 14 shooting rampage that unalived a key Democratic House member and her husband and seriously wounded a Democratic state senator and his wife. Unreal price drop, oldies. You know, I've actually seen very similar ones to this in the last couple of months. Not just at Aldi's and Walmart, but even some other places, where they mark down stuff just a couple of cents, just so they could put a sale tag on it. I buy gift cards to casual dining places and give them to homeless people instead of cash. That way, they won't slowly unalive themselves with substances and booze. No, instead they do it like the rest of the country, with a poisoned food supply. Some of y'all should carry a plant around to replace the oxygen you waste. I remember seeing a good number of things like that a few years ago. The logical option. Liberals. Confident Timberwolves fan gets championship trophy tattoo. I can only assume that they didn't win. And even if they had, that's still an awful tattoo. 19th century Democrats. 21st century Democrats. Judging people by the color of their skin. Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. That is an absolute fact-check true. We're finally starting to see a few reporters that's willing to stand against the narrative, including this lady here from BBC News.
London's School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine has released research which says that nearly 600 heat-related deaths are expected in the UK. Malcolm Mystery, who is involved in the research, says that the aged, pregnant people, women, and those with pre-existing health conditions need to take precautions.
Europeans preparing to welcome doctors and engineers from another bombed Islamic regime. Maxine Waters says she will defy the Supreme Court. Isn't that grounds to have her removed from office? They may burn some of their puppets for show, but the ones at the top will never be touched. I'm offended by this statue and would like to have it removed. It's a symbol of division and the attempted destruction of America. That's just when the acceleration began. We have to worry about Iranian sleeper cells they let in and still no prosecution. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a big narrative right now of pushing that these sleeper cells only came in the last 4 years. But as far as the militant sleeper cells, I tried to warn people back almost 20 years ago about all the militant training camps that were all across the country. There was even a Christian news station at the time that went out and recorded some of these places. When they turned it in to the FBI, they were told that nothing could be done to them because of national security. Don't worry though, after all these decades, they'll finally close the southern border, and then we'll all be locked in here together. America doesn't have a cordless hole puncher control problem. America has a criminal entitlement problem. Quit making criminals into victims and heroes. When corrupt politicians start going to jail, then we can start trusting the government again. Like I said earlier, they might burn a few puppets, but they'll never touch the ones that really matter. Trump administration to intervene on behalf of New Jersey family trying to stop government seizure of 175-year-old farm. The township wants to build affordable housing, but the family doesn't want to sell. A New Jersey family trying to save their 175-year-old farm from being seized by a local government are getting support from the Trump administration. The Cranberry City government announced its intention to seize the 21-acre farm through eminent domain in order to build low-income apartments, but the Henry family is resisting. I read most of this article, and they had been offered millions multiple times through the years and had always turned it down because they wanted to keep the farm in their family. But the officials in this town basically sent them a notice and told them either sell or we're using eminent domain to seize your farm. They refused to sell, so the city proceeded to try to use eminent domain. At the end of the day, folks, none of us own any property. If we did, we wouldn't be paying taxes on it, nor would we be listed as a tenant on the deed. Midwesterners when they finally get home after driving through Chicago. That might actually be true. James Comey answered, "I don't know, I don't recall, and I don't remember" 236 times while under oath, but remembered enough about it all to write a book. This map shows where Alabama needs more Dollar Generals. Yeah, they got a little bit more to go to catch up with Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and even Georgia for that matter, and Mississippi. It is ridiculous how many Dollar General stores there are. Point of view: you live in Seattle. Ain't just Seattle. I've seen a lot of photos like this from many different cities. Back a lot of years ago, I had my car window broke out. They stole a duffel bag with a bunch of extra clothes in it. It was in the middle of winter and a blizzard was coming in. I had to go to work that morning, so I threw it in the trunk. Just in case I wasn't able to make it back home that night, at least I'd have some clothes if I found a place to crash. The only other thing in the vehicle was a Louisville Slugger baseball bat rolled up in a rug. Too bad I didn't get out there in time. That would have been the most painful rug they ever seen in their life. I ended up driving that car for a whole month before I was able to finally buy a window off of eBay. If it wasn't for women, this is how most guys would live. And what's wrong with this picture? Looks like he's got plenty of room and everything to me. Maybe pull the car in instead of backing it in. At least you'd reduce any exhaust fumes as much as possible. Or just put you in a good ventilation fan. Complaining about a problem without proposing a solution is called whining. Fact check true. Joe Rogan: I've been drinking lots of water. CNN: Joe Rogan promotes ingesting a liquid commonly used as engine coolant. I could actually see them saying something like this. What it says: right lane closed ahead. What people read: right lane might be closed ahead, so just stay in your lane and merge at the last second if you have to. And that's exactly the kind of people that all the line of traffic should completely block from being able to let them in. Pests to watch out for this summer. Don't forget California, too. Watching a new TV show, hoping it doesn't get woke. First half of the series. Second half of the series. We should have known it was about to get bad when they started removing all of the exits. Yep, that's a very good point, guys. There's very few of them left today. And I'll end today's show with this. Never argue with an idiot. They will only bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. I'd like to thank our channel members, Super Thanks users, and all of our subscribers and viewers. We greatly appreciate your support because this program is only made possible by viewers like you. If you enjoyed the show, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, smash subscribe and click that bell. The channel's been getting beat down pretty hard by the algorithm in the last couple of months, so please remember to share these videos with your family and friends. That's it for today's show, but I'll see all of you back here on Friday's show. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out.